Welcome to the Queens on Decks, where I interview female DJs from around the world. I am Michelle Miller, your host of the Royal Queens Rising podcast. We share our inspiring stories and secrets to our success. Hi, welcome to the Queens on Deck show, where I interview female DJs from around the world. I am your host, DJ RunDat. Today, I have a special guest, DJ Debbie Golt. Welcome.
Greetings. Glad to be here.
Yes, I am so excited to talk to you and learn more about you. You have such an amazing bio. You have been a DJ for, if I counted correctly, 43 years.
Yep. From 1977. Yes. Well, I started in Manchester with the organization Rock Against Racism. It was a really great grassroots, groundswell organization doing just what it said. And I'd been playing at parties up till then. And then because we put on all sorts of events, and the whole idea of it was just do it. So I did.
I love it. So when you were starting out, how did you start learning, or did you have a mentor?
No, because I suppose I didn't really see it as like a big thing, a sort of profession thing or something that had a progression. It was more that we did a mixture of quite informal events when we just get together after a meeting or something, and then we'd build up and do actually organized events where we would charge, we'd put out leaflets and the whole thing, so it would be a big occasion, but it was just to make it happen, just to do it, because I'd been playing records, as I said, at parties, just to keep the party going, keep everybody dancing. We'd take turns, and then I just really got into it. It was another string really to the promotion, the campaigning, and I found I could do it. I found it worked, and had a good record collection which I kept growing, so it was good.
Awesome. So when you were first starting out, you did, I mean, this is kind of a silly question maybe, but like, did you have two turntables, or was it like one turntable back then?
Do you know what? I can't remember. I have a feeling, just looking at other things. No, I think we could hire double decks, but also thinking at the time, because where a lot of the major DJing was happening was with the sound systems, and often they only had one. But I remember it, when I went out to other things, because I went clubbing a lot, it being seamless. So
yeah.
do you know what? I can't actually remember. But I imagine we would have had two. I mean, I didn't use my own. I just had one at home. But we would have, either there'd be something in a center or we'd hire them. That's a really good question. I'm going to have to see if I can find anybody that was around at the time and ask them what we did.
Yeah, I've only been DJing for 12 years, and I can't remember my first gig. And my husband has been DJing for over 30 years. So I asked him, I was like, I know it was with you, but I'm sure it was like more like a house party vibe. I don't think I got thrown into the club right away or anything too big. But yeah, so that's so exciting. And so, reggae is big over in the UK. And can you think about, like, what are some of the early artists that you were playing in the reggae genre?
I played a mixture of reggae and punk, and occasionally threw in some African as well, like Fela Kuti or Sunny Ade at the time. But reggae style, I still play many of the tunes that I played then. Like, it's now revival, then it was new. So Misty and Roots, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, Sugar Minott, the Wailers, Marcia Griffiths, Janet Kay. That was around the time that the big one, Silly Games, came in, that actually charted. Althea and Donna, Hortense Ellis, all these people.
Yeah, I love it. I love a lot of those artists. And I did get a chance to check out a little bit of your music on Mixcloud. And
Oh, bless.
Really sweet vibe. And so it's really cool. So I just recently joined an online radio station. This is my first time. It had been a dream of mine. And I felt like the time was right since I'm sheltering in place here in Northern California. I'm curious because you have a huge background with reggae, radio, not reggae, well, both radio. So
Both,
how
yeah.
did you, how did you make that move into reggae? Sorry, I keep getting the words confused. Radio.
Radio, yeah, all the R's. Well,
Yeah.
if even back then, I remember I took a course in media exploitation and media communication, and I did look at some radio skills then very briefly, and I remember I was interviewed on a few things on campaigns and issues because there was a very good local radio on this radio. I can't remember the name, but I don't think wouldn't have been a BBC station. It just would have been a local station. But when I started taking it more seriously was early 90s. And there was this, it was called CSV Media, and they were offering radio training, media publicity training, and in a variety of skills. So I did a couple of courses, and that involved a lot of listening, and it involved doing interviews. We had interviews to tape machines, the Walkmans, the Walkmans, Sunny Professional, that was it, Sunny Professional. So it was microphone to cassette. And then when it came to editing, it'd be really brave, make a copy and then actually splice it. And it coincided with, I was very involved and still am, although we're not so active in the same way, with women in music, which I'd got involved in through various friends introduced me, and we had the Women in Music festivals, and the people that came forward were saying, well, look, let's do our own station, because around that time there was the capacity, they called it RSLs, restricted service licenses, so there was the capacity to start a station. So we got together women from all different areas. Some had been working already, making pioneer moves in different radio stations through the pirates, and some were going above ground around this time. I'm talking early 90s. And we set up Brazen Radio. We had it for, I think it was a couple of weeks, maybe, I don't know if it was as much as a month, on this special license you could get. And I and another woman that I was doing music promotions with at the time, Alexa, we had our lunchtime show where we did both interviews. People came in. I can't remember if we were able to do it on the phone. I think people actually came in, and we played records. We did What's On. It was supposed to coincide with the Women in Music Festival, but things got out of sync, so it became an entity in its own right. And around the same time in Bristol, there was another women's radio station, which I think was probably just before us, which was Femme FM. And around that time, there was a wonderful organization, Women's Radio Group, and I got very involved in that, which involved learning more skills. And also there was a lot of background into radio issues, self-presentation, a lot of transferable skills as well. So that was early 90s. And along the way, there were other opportunities. At conferences, there'd be radios. And in 97, there was a major one I was involved in, which was W10 FM, that was at least a month, maybe 2 months, in the area, North Kensington, Ladbroke Grove, Portobello, which people may know of, and where the carnival is based, Notting Hill Carnival. And I had both my own program on that with another friend, Tina. We had 2 hours every lunchtime. It was wonderful. I was working part-time, but Tina did it throughout, and I came when I could. And I also did a kids radio section, so kids would come in and play. They really took to it incredibly well, and my daughters came also. It was, I really enjoyed both the aspect of the broadcasting myself, but also the sharing aspect.
Wow. So what advice would you have to somebody like me who's pretty new to radio, and I'm doing
Hey,
it live
and
streaming, and it's virtual, it's online radio, and I'm pretty new at it, and I'm the type of person that learns as I go. So
that's really, I mean, I did courses, but I did also very, very much learn as I went along, because I kept up the playing out, the DJing out, and I just touch on another radio station, which was the very first internet station, Gaia Live, that was late 90s, and I joined that because I was. We were doing promotions again, Tina and I, and someone came who liked what I was doing and then introduced me to that station. And I've gone on to do other ones that I still do radio very solidly now. It's kept me very sane during lockdown. So it depends what you're looking for. Are you is it asking like how someone would get to do a show, put it together, or there's other aspects of finding your own voice and playing the music that means something to you? Not, I mean, you could, there's an aspect of people pleasing. However, it's really important to find your own voice, find the music that you like, where there are connections, because I get my music in a variety of ways, because alongside just being on the radio like the one I'm on now, two I'm on, Resonance FM and Threads Radio, they have their profile. Resonance has been going 17, 18 years, Threads too, and they have their profile. They now social media is a big thing, and campaigns, and they also do a mixture of live things and the radio. So it's placing yourself, but I think it's taking charge of your space. So I'm like we're talking music radio, so it's finding the good ways to source the music. So it could be contacting all the labels, contacting artists, building on what you know, and playing music that means something to you. Because I do play a lot of the music. I play most of the music I'm sent. Some I'm sent I actually can't empathize with, so I might just, you know, play it because I'm sent it, but not necessarily dwell on it. But it's important to know what you're talking about with the music and do a little background research, perhaps look at where the music's coming from, because at the moment I find it a bit annoying. I'm just sent a single. I'm sent the one that they want to really promote, and I do like to know the background stuff, so I do a bit more research, or I will push and ask, can I have the full album as soon as it's available? These days it's more downloads, but I've got stacks of CDs. I mean, it's keeping a really from the heart, keeping an interest, I mean, I'm talking a lot now, but I keep chat fairly minimum so that it says enough, but the music is talking. And it really is the combination of the love of the music, knowing the music, and a capacity to share that. It's also keeping your contacts up. I'm not that good at the moment of sending my playlists out, but it is good to keep your playlists, keep in contact with the people that have sent you the music so that they know that it's landed. And also, they will also do some work to help build the profile, because they're pleased to have the airwaves. So it's a multiple layer of relationships with the music, the creators and the promoters.
yeah, I like that, because that's helpful for me, because I am on a couple different artist lists, so I'm always so excited to see when I get an email of a new release or get it a little early before it drops. Like, that always makes me feel like special and happy, like, and
It is good, isn't it?
yeah, and I like, it was like Christmas, like, and then so it makes me think, strategizing more about reaching out to more artists. I mean, I do have a connection with a nice amount already in the reggae genre, but and for the radio show, they wanted me to play reggae dance hall. They wanted me to stay in that lane, which was my first true passion. I used to joke I was married to reggae. When I play, like when I throw a party and it's my own party, I like to jump around and blend reggaeton, Afro beats, remixes.
Whoa, I want to come to your party.
Someday, yes.
do a Zoom party.
Yes, exactly.
I've been a bit rude. What are the stations
Oh,
that you're on?
So it's a brand new online radio station. I believe it started in July, and it's called Power 246, and it's based out of the UK. So the website is power246.co.uk. I think that's what it is.
Hey.
Yeah, and so it's been at first, you know, it was a little challenging for me to just stay in that lane, to like not play any Afrobeat. But what I found myself playing was so much sweet reggae, because I love the Barris Hammond, and I like my Wayne Wonder, and I like my, you know, Romaine Virgo, and just like sweet lovers rock, more current stuff. But I do throw in the Gregory Isaacs Night Nurse. It's like my favorite song. And
Hey.
you know, so I found it like it was a whole new experience. So like there's a lot of nerves, there's like just like some technology, like stress, and it's like checking the levels and multiple computers and internet signal, all these things. But what I would remind myself was like, just have fun. And then the other challenge is like playing clean. And
Yes,
so
especially with dancehall. Yes.
so like I've always working on this playlist, my radio safe playlist, but I find myself playing really sweet, and like it brings back all these memories of my 20 years of reggae clubbing. And in a way, I'm playing for myself. Like I need that music therapy. I need to dance and move my body a little bit. So like signing up for the online radio, when they invited me to be a part of this new station, I was like, yeah, this will be a good thing to make sure I have a schedule that I'm playing every week because I don't have many gigs right now because we're in lockdown. So
Yeah, true, true. It sounds like you've gone a lot more technical with probably, it sounds like you must be broadcasting live on your own Steam, because with Resonance currently the studio's closed and I make shows at home with Audacity or other systems. I'll send those, and I will, and then I make it and send it in. And with Threads now, the studio's open again, and they're staying open through this new lockdown as well. And there I go, and again they're in charge of how it's broadcast. So what I do is I do run the desk. I do watch the levels. I use the mixture of vinyl when I can and CDs, and then the download. So it's a whole mix of techniques. So my job is to keep the levels, keep the flow, and yeah, keep it clean. A lot of the music I play, because I play a lot of African music, especially as I don't understand a lot of what it is, but I get the spirit, and I rely on the publicist, or if I know the artist. And I've actually been having some discussion with some of the lads in the Gambia about certain language, because they use it differently. They use certain words. It means crew, brother, which are words that certainly, especially as white DJs playing black music, we would not play. I would not feel comfortable, and it really is not conscious. But I'm on a mission in a way with other black DJs to say, well, actually in the wider market you can't use those words. You know, you might be influenced by old time hip hop, but actually so it is a mission to keep the story, and yes, keep it clean, keep it flowing, keep it as women friendly music as possible as well.
that just gave me chills. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's important, and I feel it's extra important today. Like we
Yes.
need that uplifting energy, the positive energy, music as medicine. It's feeling like a strong medicine these days.
True. Very true.
You know, so I'm interested to hear a little bit more about your connection with Africa, because I've interviewed um, a lot of about, I don't know, 8 or 10 women from Zambia, and I have a friend on the online radio station that lives in Gambia. So we were just getting to know each other, talking about Gambia, and I was listening to some of his playlists of the Afro chill vibe. And I really, really love all the music. The Afro beats and the dance halls blending a lot these days. And I did get invited to come to Zambia, and they want to have me help them put together an all-female DJ festival and a DJ
Wow.
school, and I made this connection.
Did you say Zambia or Gambia?
Zambia is where I made
Zambia
the
with the
connection.
Z. Oh,
But
wonderful.
the new connection is a DJ in the online radio station who's in Gambia. So I'm learning, I've been learning more about what's going on over there and
Wow.
networking. And I have it on my vision board from 2018. It says South Africa. So that was,
Wow.
there's something going on there. I'm making some connections, and I would really love to set up a program with DJ schools where you can almost like a nonprofit where you can pay, you can get sponsors, and there's a whole program set up, and then you can sponsor to get a school going. And I'd like to start with where I live, first, start at home, and then start spreading them around the world. That's the big vision.
That is seriously brilliant. There's some women based in Denmark called Future Female Sounds that have been running. They were in Egypt recently, even in these times, doing some work running things. So I'd be lovely to link people through. I've not gone so far as to that mentoring, that level of mentoring elsewhere. Here in UK, especially, I mean, London especially, I've been doing the female DJ relays, which began with somebody was doing DJ relays. Everybody has 15 minutes of fame on the decks. Jamie Renton was doing that. And then I noticed hardly any women were coming forward. So I decided to do the female DJ relays, which was for women who, no matter what their background in playing, whether they played before, got rusty, maybe, coming back after different life changes, family, whatever, or never played, and of whatever age. And so we help them on the decks, and then they take off. Those are great nights. Those were linked I did it as Outerglow, my company, and then linked with Sisters of Reggae. I'm invited to play in the Gambia when possible, and with that I'm going to have to learn digital DJing, because I don't relish taking stacks of CDs and vinyl there, although I have in the past. When I played in Morocco, I took a massive suitcase, but times are different. But I'm really excited by that idea of the all women crew in Zambia, getting things moving. There's a university here, SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies, that has been doing quite a lot of work in the Congo and in Kenya, getting different groups together, not with a specific female link, probably actually knowing the people that were involved and the setup. It was probably more men, but with an opening and possibilities. But this sounds really exciting. My interest in the African music comes from, I guess it was Fela I really heard first in African music, and some drummers that came to my university. Mustafa Tati Adi came, and then gradually I just gravitated with the Zimbabwe Solidarity campaign in the 70s and anti-apartheid movement, and getting involved there, and then through the Africa Center, and then getting to know musicians. I managed African musicians for quite some time, including my former husband's band. But actually, this is really exciting me. Taking what you have, meeting what you're asked to do and delivering. Wow, growing something. That is exciting.
Yeah, it's funny how it all happened, because I wrote a book, How to Start a DJ Business, and I self-published and released that January 4th, 2018. And that's right when I created this vision board, and I had ran a Facebook ad, and it was doing really well in South Africa. And I was like,
Hey,
something is going on. I did a global Facebook ad, and I was like, something's going on in South Africa. And that's when I put it on my vision board. And then I connected with a man in Zambia who had a Facebook group called Female Zambian female DJs rock. And I got connected with him, and that's how, and then he connected me with the women to interview for the Queens on Deck show. And then he started coming up with these ideas. He wanted to have me come out and help with the festival and the school. And I almost went. And it just, it didn't work out financially. I think one of the main reasons.
Never say never, when travel sorts itself out again. And in the Gambia, things are back to normal, but for traveling there from here's another story. In South Africa, I know, just backtrack and just say, wow, really, I'm really taken with that. I'm really, really impressed by your dynamism with the book, with the sharing, and with actually acting on all those links. That is really tremendous. I just was butterflying on to South Africa again. Did you come across DJ Jinli? She plays that really dynamic South African house, and maybe she doesn't play. I think she's more of a producer, but she actually encourages other women to come forward. It is one of her missions. I think she withdrew a bit recently, and she never replied to messages, because I had one of her songs as my theme tune for a while. But it is an ambition to find out more and link with her as well. So yeah, there's some really exciting dynamic women doing things.
She does sound familiar. What was really cool was seeing after together, and they're actually doing their own event called Queens on Decks.
Oh, wonderful. What a lovely, fabulous name.
Yeah, so that was what I originally named the show. But now it's the Royal Queens Rising podcast. So, but yeah, so it's really cool just to see them collaborating and working together. And that's what I really want to see, is just more unity in the community, and everyone supporting one another and collaborating. And that's one really amazing thing that's happened with COVID, is I've networked with more DJs than ever this year.
Yeah, because we're available. We're more time on the socials and so forth. I mean, I have done Zoom DJing with some wonderful cruise parties, and I've done Mixcloud Live. I think Mixcloud really rose to the occasion, making the Mixcloud Live platform available, and Zoom as well. Certain of the providers really have stepped up. Bandcamp is another that waived their fees every second Friday for the commission, and also enabled people to donate to various major causes as well. So there's a lot happening. But have you found DJs all around the world, or perhaps found even someone your doorstep you didn't know?
Oh yeah, lots. And it's been fun also just exploring, interviewing DJs that are also producers and singers.
Hey.
Getting to explore a lot more DJs. And was a part of Northern Nights Music Festival virtually, and that's more of like about like an EDM style festival, but I usually get to play and it's local. But we went virtual with that. I was collaborating with some DJs that I was booked to play with in Las Vegas, Nevada. That was going to be my first Las Vegas big city gig, and that all went virtual. So definitely connecting, networking, DJing, doing virtual parties, the online radio, this show, the podcast launched in July. So that's really fun for me, and I'm all about having fun. I value my fun.
It has to be fun. It has to be fun. Yes. Yeah, I did the Oman Bass Festival, which was fun, combining wellness and music. That was a good one. Yes. Have you come across Grace of Spades in New York? She's, if reggae's one of your main genres, she's a great reggae DJ. But it sounds like you're really versatile with EDM and all the rest of it. Wow.
Yeah, I love it all, really. So I was interested when you put in your bio, you mentioned something about playing Oriental music, and I really don't know what that means.
Yes, I don't play that so often now, because the the music that, I moved to focus differently. Oriental, it was and is a mixture of the electronic Asian music, particularly electronic Asian, bless him, Shebi Saba was a major pioneer of that, and Kush, Kali, people like that kind of music. A mixed, partly like the Asian underground, not so much Chinese or Japanese. I guess it's one of those catch-all music things that may not serve its purpose, because for a while we had world music, which gets my back up really as a genre, because it was useful. It was useful in the late 80s for racking the music, and then it really lost its way. It became everything but English, or everything but the dynamic pop music from any of the areas. So music from hot countries. I guess it also tied in with, there would be the music and a lot of remixes and zones around it. So someone like Claude Chalet would play the Buddha Bar music, those kind of styles.
Yeah, I was curious because so I listen to music on Spotify a lot, and they just did like a year in review, and it said I discovered, I think, or it said I had listened to like 400 and something genres, and I discovered
Wow.
160 something new genres this year. And I was like, wow, and through these interviews, I've learned new genre names that I've never even heard of. So I was never exposed to Oriental music genre, or like didn't really know what that meant. So when I read that, I was like, I'm gonna have to ask her about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's so much used now, because like 90s, 80s, 90s, the boxes were different again. So it's probably split into maybe 150 of those 400 or so genres now. And I think there's more a trend now and I think it's important for the artist to, the style of music, but I don't think it's, as you said, it's in so many different elements that it's not boxed in such a big box anymore.
So before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd love to share with our audience? How can we find you online? Do you have anything coming up that you want to share?
This sounds good. Yeah, online you can find me as, well, my name, Debbie Golt, DebbieGolt. And I've got my Debbie Golt page on Facebook, and then Outer Globe, OUTERGLOB, Brazil, that is Outer Globe. So you can find that on Facebook, and I use that on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Mixcloud. So Mixcloud, I'm on mixcloud.com/outerglobe. And when I play with other crews or with my different radio stations that I play on, I gravitate it all when it goes up on Mixcloud there. So you'll find a few things. The most current one is a 6-hour stint I did with DJ Freestyle on his station for Ferrity Radio. I'm on Resonance FM, which is resonancefm.com, and Threads Radio is every fourth Thursday, 10 a.m. till 12 noon UK time, GMT time, and then later in the year it will split with summertime. But basically, 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. UK time on threadsradio.com. You'll find me there. But basically everything's on the Mixcloud, or I do keep FaceCloud up. I do have one more thing to blind you with science. I do have outerglobe.co.uk, but that needs some work. I don't think there's anything else called Outer Globe online. There's some lamps, which is the two words separate, but Outer Globe together, I think you'll just find me.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's keep in touch. It was really great to talk with you. And I don't know if you've written a book yet, but I really think you should, because
people say
such a history, and lots to talk about, and I think that would be wonderful.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Bye for now. I wanted to thank everybody for tuning into the Royal Queens Rising podcast, all of my amazing guests and all of the subscribers. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If you would like to be a guest or you know somebody that should be featured, please send them my way. You can reach me on my website, www.djrundat.com.